Hello everybody, it's the 21st Sunday, it's 5 o'clock at the moment and I can't actually hear it, but we're on lockdown today in India here, and 5 o'clock the Prime Minister asked everybody to lean out of their windows at 5 o'clock and clap, cheer or something, which seems, I don't know, am I being a miserable old sod? It seems a little bit ridiculous to me, but anyway. Back to serious things. Coronavirus is affecting us here in Bhopal at the clinic, and now you can hear the afternoon call for prayer, I'm sure, on the camera microphone. It'll finish in a minute or two, so I will carry on. About 60% of the patients here are affected to greater or lesser extent with respiratory problems. If you remember, the main issue in 1984 was the most toxic gas that we knew at the time, and it is still amongst the most toxic gases known to mankind. And with 60% of the people affected by respiratory problems, that is a fairly big cohort. Many of them also will be affected with other comorbidities. We have about 50% with heart problems, and of course there's an overlap there, so some will have heart and respiratory, and then there's also high blood pressure, and there are some cancers coming along as well now, 35 years later, and there's also diabetes. So we have a patient list that is in one of the high risk areas. A lot of them, of course, if they were in their 40s or something at the time, would be in their 60s and 70s now. So we also have that age group. It's not just the elderly though, because some of my patients and friends now were young children in that time. And they are in their late 30s, early 40s now. And they are just as likely to come across and have respiratory problems, lung problems. They may not have had symptoms by now. We get new patients coming and signing on all the time who have not had symptoms that have been serious enough for them to come and register here. And I'm sure there'll be a load more people in the ensuing months. We haven't had a big sign of corona here yet. It is in India. It's hit Kerala the worst. But the clinic staff have decided that we will stay open, and they have taken a number of measures to limit the possibility of the staff here being given hit by patients coming in. And we have the waiting area has now been moved out to the front of the clinic, in the front entrance, in the big yard at the front. There's a big area which is often used for car parking and motorbike parking and rickshaw parking even. Some people arrive by rickshaws. Cheers. And the patients are let in much more slowly now. The security people are letting them in as they are announced by the registration team. So the clinic area itself is a lot less crowded. People coming in mostly when they're needed to be in. We've cut down on non-essential, so I was scheduled to finish my work last week anyway, so I did in any case. So I won't be doing any more, even if I'm staying here longer, more of which in a moment. And I think they're probably cutting down a little bit on the Panchakarma therapists as well, and probably on the yoga and Shweta's work there. So we are reducing that number of patients and possibilities for cross-contamination in the clinic. But we do have a cohort of high-risk people here. So we are treating this seriously, and it was a joint decision by the people in the clinic that decisions, serious decisions, particularly like this, are taken by the whole staff. They have weekly meetings. I've mentioned these in past times with my that I've been here. Every member of the staff goes to as often as they can to a weekly meeting. It's held on Wednesday, and this is for taking major decisions and for updating everybody on what's going on. And there's a couple of really nice things about this meeting that I like, and it compares very much with the meetings I'm used to back in the UK in my business life. The chairmanship, or the chairpersonship, shall I say, passes around everybody in the clinic. They all take a turn, and that's from the I'd use the pejorative term, the lowest level staff, right up to Satu, who is the managing trustee here. Everybody takes a turn, and everybody listens to the chairperson, whether that's one of the cleaners or somebody in the medicines room stoking the fire. It doesn't matter. Everybody takes notice of that person when they are chairing that meeting, which is really good. And the other thing that makes it different is that it's the only person that's got a table is the person who's chairing the meeting and the person who's taking the notes of the meeting. Everybody else is sitting around, some on the floor. The meeting room is open. It doesn't have any walls. It has a roof, because we do get rain here, of course, but it doesn't have any walls. So people sit on the low wall around in a circle, or the floor, and they take the meeting from there. So it gives a different energy to the meetings here. And they have decided, as I said before, to keep the clinic open with those provisos that I just spoke about. The other thing that's happening, I was going to go on Wednesday, 25th, to Rajasthan to see some friends there. I've had a note this morning to say that the state governor of Rajasthan has announced that from tomorrow, the 22nd, until the 31st, Rajasthan is closing down. Shops are closed, even public transport is closed. So even if I wanted to, I can't get there. And I wouldn't be able to go on the train from there to Delhi, which I was hoping to do, or planning to do on the 28th. And then my flight back to the UK is the 31st. It's looking very much like other things are happening as well. The government has banned or stopped any incoming international flights. It's not letting even its own nationals come back into the country, let alone any visitors, foreign visitors coming in. So if there are no planes coming in, how are we going to get the planes to go out? So on the 31st, I wanted to go out, but if no planes are coming in, is there even going to be a plane for me to go on? Even if the flight was going ahead. I can't find information out more than a couple of days ahead. My friend in Delhi, Amarjeet, has told me that it's pretty quiet in there. Where he works, they've been told to close everything until the 31st, my flight day. If that happens in all the trains in all the country, then there's no way I can even get to the airport. So even if there is a flight out on the 31st, I won't be able to get to the airport. So it's looking very much as if I'm going to be here for a little bit longer than I thought, maybe even a couple of months. Because this is not going to finish tomorrow. One day on all of India for shutting down for 14 hours from 7 in the morning until 9 at night is not going to make a big difference. So I suspect after this there's going to be a lot of shutdowns around the country, not just in Rajasthan, not just in Delhi. So I'm looking at being here a few more weeks. So last time I said this would probably be my last my last diary entry. So and it's looking as if very much it's not going to be my last diary entry. But I should do what I can, and if there are flights out and I can get to the airport, then I will be flying out week on Tuesday. That's right, yes, a week and 2 days away. But as the situation changes, almost by day, I will let you know what's going to happen. Keep an eye on the Facebook channel where you will be watching this page, Bhopal Space Today. If you're watching this, you know that anyway, and also on the YouTube channel. All the videos are up on the YouTube channel, which has got the same name. I know not many of you watched it there at the moment, but I would encourage you to go there because you can watch them all. If you've missed any, you can have a quick update on what's been going on. I will be doing a few more interviews. They may not all be in person. Nadim, who made a film I mentioned a little while ago, he's back in Seattle, but I have been learning a little bit about Zoom, so I'm hoping that I might be able to do some remote interviews with different people as well, possibly when I'm here and certainly when I'm back in the UK. So keep up with that, and on that note, I will just finally say I'm really not quite sure when I should be coming back or what's going to happen. This is the other side of my room, the outside wall. I just decided to squat here. It's getting very hot. Most days in the afternoon it's getting to I would guess, the mid-30s at least. And it's just beginning to cool down now. It has been very, very hot again today, and I've even had the fan on in my room, which is actually, generally speaking, a fairly rare event for me. So I look forward to hearing from you. Please do make any comments on the Facebook group page, and let me know how you're doing, and do share as well, because people need to know what's going on in the clinics here, and the BMA still does need support. I suspect our costs are going to go up with this because there are going to be new remedies, possibly new drugs, new tests. We don't have the test equipment in the path lab specifically for the coronavirus, and one of the doctors, Dr. Ram, has told me that he thinks there's only about 50 machines capable of testing for that specific whatever it is they test for, that specific blood test. And so whether we're going to be able to get any tests done for the people, I really don't know. We might just have to go on symptoms. So donations are always welcome, and do pass this on, share it with all your friends in Facebook, and let everybody know that we're all doing our very best to ease the burden on all the victims and the survivors of that disaster. So thanks very much for listening. I'll almost certainly see you next week from somewhere. I'm not sure where I shall be though, so see you then. And you'll hear it's got quieter again now, so bye-bye.